What's up, guys? Up here again on a Saturday morning. I'm gonna actually just be doing a bunch of production welding today. No personal race car stuff. We took the day off yesterday and actually had to go take care of some stuff, which I will reveal to you in a video after this, probably, because it's a really long video. But we got a new project in last week. We've been talking to the guys over LS Nasty, John Doc and the guys, for a long time. We've been supplying them with a lot of parts for their projects over the past couple years. And they've been trying to get us to work on something for years. But now they've got something that's behind me here that they dropped off Thursday. And it's going to be a pretty radical build. So let's go check it out. So here we got a 3rd gen Camaro that they call Slick Rick. Basic rundown, the car, I'm not sure who they bought it off of, but the chassis has been 380s to the 8th mile. I'll tell you a little bit about the engine whenever we come back up to it. So we can look at the lights out sticker and see when it was last ran. There you go. Lights out 12. Good looking chassis though, a lot of carbon. I'm sure it's really, really light. But as far as the power plant, we got a Proline 481X combo. I think there's about 3 or 4 versions of the 481X. This is the bigger cubic inch version. I think it's like 572 cubic inch, all billet. I made them bring Pro Jacks because obviously I don't have a lift open. Really makes it convenient for working on it. But if anybody's built a chassis from scratch or paid a shop to do it, if you can buy one already done, that is the way to go. Because especially one that has already been down the track, has already proven to work, you already know what you're dealing with, and you're saving a lot of money buying the work that's already done. Because whoever had this chassis built has already got the good out of it. They've already moved on to something else, and I mean, you just know it works. You ain't got nothing to worry about. I got a burp trying to come out, and I still keep trying to talk because I think it's like a talking race every time we do a YouTube video. I think whenever John was in here filming, it's like you're almost wore out after talking about the car and stuff like that, because you feel like you got to pump the information super fast. That's how the YouTube lingo goes. So behind me is what we're going to put on this thing. I have never seen a turbo this big. This is a Hartz diesel machine, 140 millimeter. Got a billet center section. It kind of looks like a Precision Pro Mod. Is what, I mean, if it didn't have the Hartz diesel thing right here, you would say it was a Precision Pro Mod just from everything it looks. We've got a huge outlet turbine flange here. So this turbo is supposed to be able to pump out like 4,500 horsepower is what they say. And I know with big turbos like this with heavy wheels, I know like the Precision 118 and some of the really large wheel turbos like that, if you don't have enough air coming to them to get them in their sweet spot, you can make more power with a 98 is usually how it goes. But with 572 cubic inch, spinning about 8,500 RPM, maybe 9,000, you know, we like the high RPM stuff, it should flow plenty of air to make this turbo come alive. But somehow, you can see my hand in that thing. It's just huge. Somehow I've got to put this in that. And he brought a bunch of piping here. This is all from Race Parts Solutions. We got Stainless Bros here, which is Tycon guys, same people, I guess. We got the LPS Alpha Lock. We used one of these on the C6 that we sent to Las Vegas after we done with it, or after we was done with it, the twin turbo build. I really like the Alpha Lock deal. It's really clean. We'll probably put that on the turbo side, and then put the V-band up top, because we got this weird throttle body flange here. We've got the adapter and everything to transition it back to round. So if you watch John Doc's video on his YouTube channel, basically what I'm gonna do is just look at this thing for a while. I might look at it all of next week before I even start messing with it. Try to get an idea. First item of business, we will probably cut this bar out. It's got another bar tying the frame rails together here, but for right now, I'll probably cut this bar out until I know where the turbo is going to set and everything, and then I'll probably put another bar back in later on when I know what I have room for. But that's a huge turbo, and what I'm thinking is this merge that I made for this build, which has got a custom flange on it and everything. I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna even be able to use the Y like it is. It'll just depend on how far I can get the turbo pushed forward, because just to give you a visual here, to use this Y, it's gonna have to be in front of those rails. Well, I don't know. We could put it back there, but see how low the turbo is gonna have to go to put it back there? And then, I don't know. It's just one of them things you just have to experiment with and try different scenarios, prop stuff up with pipes and MIG weld stuff together to hold the turbo in place, and it's a process. But once the turbo is in place, then that'll dictate everything else, and you can kind of run with it from there. So that's what we got going on there. As far as anything else, I'm not gonna tie any other car into this video, but just Slick Rick, I'll just tell you about that. I will tell you a new toy I got the other day. Recently, we've been getting a lot of aluminum, heavy aluminum welding. If you watch the video on my wife's intake here in the billet elbow, that was really a struggle for the Dynasty 200 that I got. And even with preheat, I just couldn't hardly get it done. Now I got a transmission case sitting up here that needs to be welded up. We do a bunch of little stuff like this, especially for, like, we got a couple of local race shops that bring stuff up here, cylinder heads, different things that need to be welded, and we just don't got enough welder to do it. So behind me here is what came in last Thursday as well. This is the Everlast 350. Now literally I have not even welded with this thing yet. I'm actually gonna see if I can find me some YouTube videos and maybe go through the instructions and see if I can figure out how to get this thing set up. Do a bunch of test pieces this morning, and then let it stretch its legs a little bit on a couple tanks I gotta do today before I leave. So hopefully this thing will have enough to burn through all this heavy aluminum. That reminds me, I've actually got an intake in the UPS box in the back that a guy sent that we're gonna have to mill down and put the billet elbow on. So it's just opening the door for a lot of other, like, heavier aluminum welding. So hopefully it works out. I know several other of my shop buddies that have this welder, and we have an Everlast 200 that we have on our mobile cart that we go around and do all the roll cages and anything that's out in the middle of the shop floor. Because the Dynasty, I had it beside my workbench. I really didn't like moving it around because it was kind of a headache with the style. I had like a hand truck style cart, and it was just aggravating to move. This one has 4 wheels on it. It'll be easy to move around the shop if the other welder is taken up. So we'll see how it does. But that's your Saturday update. Like I said, stay tuned. I've got a video that's about an hour and 15 minutes long of something that I'm going to reveal to you guys that I've had in my pocket for a couple years, and some exciting news, some exciting progression and future for the shop. So stay tuned for that video. I'll probably just upload this one whenever I get home today, and I'll save the other one for maybe next week sometime. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button, and you can see what goes on at Rock Solid Motorsports. See ya.